Welcome to today's Explainer. We're unpacking something absolutely massive today. We're decoding a totally practical, incredibly actionable blueprint, and it comes straight from the motivational insights of Steve Harvey. Now, we aren't just talking about vague, feel-good inspiration here. No, we are breaking down the literal formula that took someone from having absolutely nothing to building a massive empire. So you might want to grab a pen and take some notes, because this explainer is designed to give you the exact, step-by-step framework to identify your personal strengths and actually manifest your biggest goals. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. God blesses you to become a blessing. This single quote is basically the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today. Steve Harvey actually got this straight from his mother. She was a Sunday school teacher for 40 years, so she knew a thing or two about faith. Now, when he was just a kid, he didn't really get it, mostly because, well, as he put it, he didn't have anything to give. They literally had nothing. But his mom planted this incredibly profound belief in his head that one day his life would be completely different. She set the whole emotional tone for his journey. It all starts with realizing that success isn't just about hoarding stuff for yourself. It's about getting to a position where you can actually be a blessing to other people. Which brings us to part 1, debunking the success myth. Look, before we go any further, we really need to tear down one of the biggest, most stubborn barriers holding people back. For generations, society has just hammered home this idea that a formal education is the strict, unavoidable requirement for wealth and success. And hey, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a scientist, or a dentist, yes, please, you absolutely have to go to school. We all get that. But Harvey emphasizes a massive, game-changing counterpoint. He always says, Harvard ain't in the Bible. Formal education is not the only route. There is a totally valid alternative path. If you're naturally gifted with your hands, or if you just have this innate, relentless hustle, you've got a completely different but equally viable roadmap to success. So what if you just aren't a school person? Seriously, I really want you to think about that for a second. How many people out there beat themselves up every single day just because they don't fit neatly into that traditional academic box? If you've ever felt left behind or misunderstood by the school system, Harvey's message here is just incredibly validating. You do not have to force yourself into a mold that literally wasn't built for you. Let's look at what being an outside-the-box person actually looks like in the real world. Just take Steve Harvey's own personal hurdles. He's dyslexic. He openly admits that once math got past basic adding, subtracting, multiplying, and division, he was just completely lost. He holds 0 formal degrees. He can't sit there and read complex business periodicals. And yet, he reached the absolute pinnacle of his industry. He shares all these personal struggles for one reason: to prove to you that massive success is entirely possible even if you lack a formal education or have learning disabilities. It is absolutely not a deal breaker. All right, let's move on to section 2. Discovering your unique gift. So if traditional education isn't the one and only answer, what on earth is? Well, the crucial point is how we actually define the gift. The gift is simply that innate thing you're just naturally good at. It's built in. Now, society is constantly telling us to spend all our time fixing our weaknesses, right? Like, if you're bad at math, go hire a tutor. But Harvey argues that this is a total waste of time. You do not need to agonizingly strengthen what you're bad at. You need to focus entirely, 100%, on what you are naturally good at. Your gift is the exact thing that will make room for you in this world. And here is a super practical tip for handling those annoying weaknesses. Just hire people to be what you aren't. Because Steve Harvey can't easily read complex numbers or dense, confusing legal contracts, he doesn't sit there and try to force himself to learn it all. He just hires experts who excel at reading those numbers and contracts, and that brilliantly frees him up to focus purely on executing his unique gift, which is entertaining and communicating. The secret is simple: double down on your gift and outsource your weaknesses. Next up, section 3, the mechanics of vision. Now that you've figured out your gift, how do you actually put it out into the world and get results? Well, $1 billion. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of what we're about to discuss. Harvey points out that Oprah Winfrey spent 30 years on television talking about the power of vision boards. And today, she has $1 billion. I mean, I don't know about you, but if a billionaire is handing out free advice on how to succeed, I'm grabbing a pen immediately. This isn't just some esoteric, wishful thinking. This is a hardcore foundational practice used by some of the absolute most successful people on the planet. So why is physically writing it down so incredibly vital? Because the act of writing it down plants the information directly into your subconscious. Whether your goal is to make $150,000, $200,000, or to own 3 houses, you have to be crystal clear about it. Harvey warns that if you don't have a vision board or a written dream list, you are unnecessarily complicating the whole process of getting what you want. You're just making it way harder on yourself.
Whatever your goal is, write down exactly what you want in detail and do not deviate from it. Here is Harvey's exact step-by-step daily routine for this. Step 1, write all of your visions down. Step 2, read them every single morning. Step 3, read them every single night. You are just constantly instilling these goals right into your head. And step 4, share them with others. Now, why share them? Well, Harvey explains that every time someone asked him what he was trying to do, he would just tell them one of his visions, and boom, the networking magic would happen. Inevitably, someone would say, hey, I actually know a guy who's selling those, or, you really ought to talk to this person. Sharing your vision actively engages the people around you to help you cross things off your list.
Which brings us to our final section. Number 4, combining faith with work.
Listen, writing it down is just the starting line. It is absolutely not the finish line. This right here captures the formula Harvey pulled from the scriptures to actively manifest those written goals. The principles are simple: ask, believe, and work. And the actions that go with them, you keep asking for it. You maintain absolute, unwavering faith that it's actually possible. But here's the kicker, the totally non-negotiable part. You have to hustle and grind. Harvey always brings up the scripture, faith without works is dead. You literally cannot just sit around believing in it and not working. It's not going to happen. You have to pair your massive belief with a relentless willingness to work hard. You've got to be out there actively hustling for your vision every single day. You don't need nobody's permission to succeed. Man, think about how empowering that really is. You don't have to clear your dreams with anyone. You don't have to go check with anybody to see if your goals are okay. Harvey reminds us that to reach your goals, to speak to God, his line isn't busy. He's available right now. He's a big God who does really big stuff, and because of that, you should be expecting big things. The key takeaway here is absolute autonomy. Your success is entirely between you, your gift, your work ethic, and your faith. Nobody else has to sign off on your dreams. So I'm posing a question directly to you right now. What is going on your vision board today? We've seen the blueprint. We've seen that you don't need some traditional education to make it big. You just need to identify your innate gift, write your incredibly big visions down clearly, and then pair your faith with relentless, unstoppable hard work. So please, don't wait around for anyone's permission. Grab a pen, grab some paper, and start planting those huge dreams into your subconscious right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go get to work on that vision.